Hey there, I've never been one to believe in supernatural stuff or those eerie tales folks share around the campfire. But what happened to me, I can't shake it off. It's been haunting me day and night. I figured maybe sharing my story could bring some relief, even if just a little. It all started a few months back, in the small town of Galloway. The place had a strange aura about it, like it had seen its fair share of secrets. I moved there with my family, seeking a fresh start, away from the hustle and bustle of the city. We settled into an old, creaky house on the outskirts of town. It seemed alright at first, but as days passed, I couldn't ignore the unsettling feeling that I was being watched. There were strange noises at night, and sometimes I thought I glimpsed shadows moving in the corner of my eye. One evening, while taking a stroll around town, I met an elderly man named Mr. Williamson. He had an air of wisdom about him, like he had seen it all. When I mentioned the odd occurrences in my house, he looked at me with somber eyes and said, "Son, there's a dark history to that place, things you wouldn't believe." Intrigued, I prodded him for more information, and he obliged. He told me about a family that lived there years ago, the Tanners. Rumor had it they practiced some ancient occult rituals, dabbling in things no mortal should. The townsfolk suspected them of performing human sacrifices, using the house's basement for their sinister deeds. Skeptical as I was, I couldn't ignore the persistent unease that lingered whenever I stepped into that basement. The walls were stained, and a chill ran down my spine as I descended those creaky stairs. Sometimes, I swore I heard whispers, calling my name from the shadows. One night, unable to sleep, I decided to investigate further. Armed with a flashlight, I ventured into the basement. My heart pounded in my chest, and every creak of the floorboards felt like a warning. As I reached the far end of the basement, my flashlight flickered, and the temperature dropped drastically. Suddenly, I saw it, a faint outline of a figure, barely visible in the dim light. Panic set in, and I tried to run, but something held me in place. The figure grew clearer, and I saw the face of a young girl, her eyes hollow and full of sorrow. She reached out to me, mouthing something I couldn't comprehend. That's when I noticed the ritualistic symbols on the walls, still faintly glowing with an otherworldly light. It was like the room was pulsating with dark energy. I mustered all my strength and broke free from whatever was holding me. I ran up those stairs like my life depended on it. From that night on, things escalated. Objects moved on their own, and I heard crying coming from empty rooms. My family noticed my distress, but I couldn't bring myself to share what I had seen. I didn't want them to think I was losing my mind. I decided to confront Mr. Williamson about the girl I had seen. When I described her, his face turned pale, and he revealed the truth. The Tanners had a daughter named Emily, who vanished mysteriously many years ago. They believed she was taken by the malevolent spirits they had summoned. Mr. Williamson warned me that the spirits were angry, and they wouldn't rest until they claimed another soul. He urged me to leave the house, but something held me back. I felt an inexplicable connection to that girl, like she wanted me to uncover the darkened truth. In a desperate attempt to free Emily's tormented soul, I reached out to paranormal investigators. They conducted a thorough investigation and uncovered more sinister secrets from the past. The spirits of the Tanners had indeed made a pact with darkness, and Emily's soul was trapped in an eternal torment. On a stormy night, we gathered in the basement, armed with knowledge from the investigators and Mr. Williamson's wisdom. Together, we conducted a ritual to cleanse the house of its malevolent energy and release Emily's spirit. It was a harrowing experience, the room filled with an ominous aura, and I felt the weight of centuries pressing down on us. But we persevered, chanting ancient incantations and prayers. Suddenly, a burst of light enveloped the room, and I saw Emily's ghostly figure one last time, this time smiling faintly. Since that night, the disturbances stopped. The air cleared, and the house felt like a normal home again. As for me, I can't shake off the lingering sense of awe and terror from that encounter. It changed me, made me realize that some mysteries are better left unexplored. I still visit Mr. Williamson, and we often talk about the paranormal. But, from time to time, I can't help but wonder if Emily's spirit found peace or if the darkness still lingers, waiting for another soul to ensnare.